This episode is brought to you by Americas Rehab Campus. Get on the road to recovery with the best rehab in beautiful Arizona. Dial 1-833-272-7342. That's 1-833-ARC-REHAB.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned in to the Archer.
Thank you guys again for tuning in to the Arcast. My name is Buddha, and today I'm in the studio with a homeboy of mine, man. You know, it's the world is getting worse and worse, man, and there's a lot of things going on, but on the other end of that, whenever I get an opportunity to meet up with an old friend, someone I haven't seen in a long time, and I know that they're doing good, it kind of ties everything together, and it makes me feel good, man. So I'm very blessed to have my brother in the studio with me today. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to my homeboy, Rudy. Yeah. Bro. How have you been, man?
I'm good.
You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
It's been a long time, dog. Honestly, I don't think I've seen you since high school, bro.
Yeah, it's probably been since high school.
Been since high school. That's a long time coming up already, man. And I appreciate you. We did a post on social media a while back for, you know, everyone in the mental health space, whether it's something that you struggle with, addiction or depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, you know how valuable everybody's story is. And my boy, he hit me up, and it was a pleasure to schedule him and get him in here, man. So thank you so much for showing up, bro. You know, you told me a little bit about your story when we were coming into the studio, man, and it's incredible to me, you know, thinking back to those days, back when we went to high school and stuff. It's like you meet friends and you're around people. You never ever know what somebody's going through in their personal life.
Nope.
You know, and it seems like you've had a lot of struggles, man, a lot of things going on. So let's go back to the beginning, Rudy. You know, I'm really curious to ask you, bro. I know that you live here in Tucson now, but were you born and raised here, bro?
Yes, sir.
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
What side of town?
Let's see, I grew up on the east side with my mom, the west side with my dad.
And growing up, bro, I mean, when it comes to, you know, like your childhood and stuff like that, I know you were close. We talked a little bit about, you know, some of your family members, cousins and stuff that, you know, we knew. But did you have any siblings growing up, or were you by yourself?
I have an older brother, 2 older sisters, and yeah.
An older brother, 2 older sisters?
Yep.
You close with them?
Yeah.
And what about, like, you know, your family dynamic growing up? I know Mexican cultures, bro, were always real close. Did you have that type of dynamic in your family?
Yeah, we were all close. Everybody in the family was real close, and we all grew up together. There was nothing in my childhood growing up that would make me want to do some stuff like that.
Was there addiction in your family at all that you saw?
No. Nothing that I seen, nothing that I knew of.
Really?
Nothing.
And as far as your parents go, were your mom and dad, were they like together and stuff your whole childhood?
Separated.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said. Well, my mom was on the east side, my dad was on the west side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And how was that for you? I mean, I know coming from a broken home myself, I mean, we kind of normalize it, you know, but now looking at it in hindsight, do you feel like that played kind of like a part in the addiction and stuff as you got older?
No, not. I don't feel like that was. Like, I had a good relationship with my dad, good relationship with my mom. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And going to school, how were you in school?
That was good. Everything was good. Going to school, yeah, I did good. I wasn't a bad kid. I did what I needed to do in school to pass, and I passed. I stayed a little longer, but I passed.
Yeah, me too, bro. I don't know if you remember, I failed 8th, and then I had to do 12th again, but I went to a charter school, whatever. But yeah, man, I struggled with school big time.
I did the little SAL program at Tucson High. I did that 4.5 years, but
okay.
But I still finished.
Did you go to Mansfield too?
Yeah.
You did? Okay. Yeah. Do you remember they had that night school for a little bit?
Yeah.
That's where I was. That was my home, bro. I got there like at 3:30 to 7. It was dope. And then Mr. Shefflin would take us to go eat pizza every Friday at right there at Zachary's. It was cool, bro.
Nice.
It was cool, man. Yeah. I still see Louis every now and then. Remember him?
No.
You don't remember Louis Martinez?
I had to see faces.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I'll have to show you a picture of him. But yeah, he's still my boy, man. But that's crazy, dude. So, all right. And then as far as like school goes, did you ever do any sports, anything like that?
No. I just went to school.
Just went to school.
Did my work, and went home, went to work.
Okay. And as far as like dabbling when it came to substances and stuff, when did all of that start for you?
It's hard to put a year on it, but it's more or less when after my dad passed away.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And like I would get pain pills, and that's how I was dealing with everything. Like I don't know, I feel like if I was getting the pain pills and I thought it was okay because I was getting them prescribed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just taking pain pills and I was getting them wherever I could, or I was getting prescribed mostly, but.
Did you have like injuries or anything that they were giving those to you?
Being honest, it was just like fake injuries, like telling the doctor, hey, this hurts and hey, that hurts. And I knew the doctor that would give out pills like that. So
okay,
I would just get them and then, okay, cool.
Yeah. Just pass them around type of thing.
Yeah.
That's when the using is still fun and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then after like my dad passed away is when it got a little bit bad because I was getting them privately through the doctors in the office.
Yeah.
And then I was getting prescribed through my doctor.
Oh, wow.
So I was getting like a double dose, like through 2 different doctors. And
what age was that when your pops passed away, dude?
It was in 2010. So.
Oh, okay. So we're already out of school and everything.
Yeah, I was already out of school and everything.
So up until that point, I mean, you were pretty straight. There was no issues, nothing like that.
No.
Good family. Were you ever diagnosed with anything? Any bipolar or anything like that?
No. Just after going through all the drugs and everything, going in and out of the rehabs and the hospitals and stuff, they diagnosed me with stuff, but I feel like it was just me being on.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, you get on those drugs, you get psychosis and all that crazy shit.
Yep.
Do you feel like that was a big turning point for you? Obviously, right? You know, you're losing your pops. Every boy needs his father, man.
Yeah. It was just hard. It was just hard. It was just seeing him go through what he was going through, and then it was just really hard. And
at this time, were you married, working, anything like that?
We had just got married.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was, I think within that same month is when he got sick, because like he was already sick, and I think we got married, and then towards the end of that same month is when he got sick.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, brother. And up until this point, you know, as far as your family goes too, you guys were all still close. Everyone was still good.
Yes.
Were you even Cali sober at this time? Were you smoking weed or anything like that? Like, was that, or had you not done any substances up until that point?
It was just mainly pills up until that point.
Just the pills.
Just pills up until that point. And then like I dabbled here and there with weed, but it wasn't just something I just picked up, you know?
Yeah.
But.
And was there ever like a fear, bro? Like, did you have a respect for the drugs before you started taking them, like with opiates and stuff? Were you ever aware that you can get addicted to them and things like that?
I believe I was aware of it, but I didn't think that it would happen.
Yeah.
Like, nobody thinks that it's not going to happen to me. But,
yeah.
Like, little do you know, it's like creeping up on you, and it gets you. It gets a hold of you, and
man,
it doesn't let you go.
Wow. Where were you at in your life, like, you know, as far as when you realized that this was starting to become a problem? You could it was no longer fun. It wasn't no longer, yo, it's Friday, let's get fucked up type of thing. It was more like, you know, I need this to feel straight.
When you start waking up and you start feeling sick, and you're like, oh man, like, what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? Like,
I think you have a cold or something.
Something that's like, no, it's, you need to do something else and you feel better, and it's like, think about it.
Oh, that's nuts.
Man. Yeah. It's not a great feeling. And it's like, man, so then it turns into you're just doing it just to stay good so you're not sick. Yeah. And it's like.
Did you have anyone that you could turn to during that time, bro? When you started noticing that? Was there anyone that you can confide in or, you know, open up to?
I probably could have, but I didn't. No. I just really held everything in and held it all back.
I'm sure that affected marriage, affected, you know, relationship with your babies, all that type of stuff too.
Everything.
Man. How long did you use until you decided for the first time that you wanted to step foot into a treatment center, man? When did all of that stuff start happening?
I want to say it was probably roughly around 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was when my last baby was born. She didn't know she was pregnant, or she said she didn't know she was pregnant, but we kind of knew, but wasn't going to the doctor or nothing. And we were already doing all this stuff that we were doing.
Yeah.
And got the baby taken away, got all the kids taken away, and we tried to do some kind of like treatment stuff, but that didn't go too well because it ended up being out in California. We met some people, they're trying to help us, and they were part of some church thing, and ended up not being what they said it was. Ended up being like some kind of cult, some kind of they kidnapped us kind of thing. Like
really,
yeah, this shit was wild.
It wasn't Nexium, was it?
No, it was Imperial Valley Ministries.
Imperial Valley. That's so crazy to me. Like when I've watched like documentaries with my wife about like some of these spots. You ever heard of Nexium? It's crazy, dude.
Yeah,
it's nuts.
Yeah, they after we had lost everything, we ran into these church people, and they're like, "Hey, we're here to help families in recovery and help you get you the help you need and whatever." And we're like, "Well, maybe this is a sign we should do this." And we did it, but it wasn't what they said it was going to be. Like, yeah, they took us out to California. They took all of our stuff. They split us up, which was okay. Like, cause like I know we can't be together right there, and I was like, all right, cool. But just everything that they were doing was just out of like
weird. Yeah,
really weird. Like, there's like an old man the old man with like a walker could barely walk, and they were telling him, you can't come back to the church unless you come back with $20. They had to go panhandle for $20, and they couldn't come back into the church to sleep until they had $20.
Wow. Because
the night before, between everybody, they only made like $100 or something. The guy was yelling at everybody, just not, you guys need to stay out later. And you can't come back until you have $20. I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was just sitting back, like trying to figure out, like, this is not what they said it is. Like, I need to get out of here. And I was trying to figure out how to get out. And like, I'm like stuck in like, feels like I'm locked up in a jail in a church, and I can't get out. I go out the front. They're like, you need to get back in there.
Damn, like you guys were held against your will kind of thing?
Yeah, and
like if you wanted to leave, could you, or they wouldn't even let you?
Well, here's the thing, that they were yelling at me to get back in, and I was like, what's going on? I'm trying to figure out if I got to jump out the back gate or something like that, but it's all barbed wire and shit.
Damn, bro, that's nuts.
And then like, I hear them talking on the phone about somebody and something, and then I just feel like it's for me, and I get up, and then because they were telling them that I was asleep, and I was like, I'm not asleep. Is that for me? Whatever. And it'd be my wife at the time, my ex, and she was like, they just locked me up in the pastor's house. Past 2 days, I've been trying to get out of here. I'm leaving. I don't know what you're doing. I was like, I've been trying to leave too. I don't know where to go. Like,
wow.
And yeah, they just left us on the street. They took all of our stuff, IDs and everything. We didn't have nothing, no identification or nothing. And we were trying to panhandle to get some Greyhound tickets to come back, but that wasn't working too well because those people were panhandle all the time. And I feel like they
led the market.
Yeah, pretty much. And I was just trying to tell them, be honest, like I'm trying to get home. Like people, I went to the Salvation Army out there. They're like, no, there's no help. Went to churches, no help. And I was like, man, I need to get home. But we ended up reaching out to some family, and they put some money together and gas, and they went and picked us up later that night.
Wow. Was it in a weird part of California?
Yeah, they said you can't be out after dark, and it was already after dark, and we're like, what are we doing out here? Like,
where at, dude? Like, what part of Cali? Do you remember?
Imperial Valley. That's
Imperial Valley.
That's weird. That's the only thing. Imperial Valley. I see the signs. Imperial Valley. Fuck that place.
There's some weird little pockets in California, dude. Like some weird ass cult people and shit. And then you always hear about like the Humboldt Mountains and all that stuff. Like there's some craziness going on out there.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you guys came back. Your family brought you. That must have been a huge relief, man.
Yeah. Like we came back, and I told them to drop me off at the CRC. Because I was like, I was trying to get good. I was trying to be good, And
yeah, and you were sober when you were up there in Cali and everything?
Well, we were just getting off the dope, and when we got up there, and we were like trying to detox, but we were going through all that shit, and I was like, we need to get out of here. So we ended up finding somebody, and they saw the way we looked. Oh, you want to get high? So we ended up getting high again, but
yeah,
came back, just trying to do it all over again, and came back again.
Wow. Man, that's a traumatic experience, bro. And good for you though. At least like, you're coming back. Like, yo, take me to the CRC. I can't trust myself. I need to get somewhere.
Yeah.
Just you're like almost crying out for help at this point.
Yeah, I was like, well, I didn't want to go home. I couldn't go over there with her, and I was like, the only place I'm gonna go is CRC. I'm not gonna drop me off over here, you know. So
Yeah.
I was trying to get help.
Yeah, man. And so when you guys, you know, when you guys experienced like living under the bridge and things like that, was that before or after this experience in California?
That was after.
It was after.
Yeah.
And for all the listeners out there, man, just sorry, they're wrestling upstairs again, a lot of noise, you know, but just so in case you're driving, you don't think someone hit you or something like that. But man, that's so interesting, bro. So when you came back, how was the support, like, you know, as far as, because I know how hard it is to be in a marriage and stuff like that too, you know, sometimes, like, was your wife at the time, was she really willing to be a part of like recovery? Did she want it as bad as you did?
I don't think she wanted it as bad as I did.
Yeah.
But I was trying to stick by her side and trying to keep our thing going. But I was trying to keep telling her, we gotta do this. We gotta stop. When we're gonna stop, we gotta do this. Like, we need the kids back. We gotta do this. And like, I kept talking about it, but it wouldn't click in her head. It was just, okay, we gotta go get high now. I remember I got clean for a little bit, and then like she was saying she was getting clean. And then, like, I guess she was, like, trying other things, and I didn't know that, and I was kind of clean. I was clean. Yeah. And then I wanted to go, like, see her or whatever, spend some time with her, because I was by myself. I was working. I was doing my own little thing, working. I had the kids and everything. Everything was going fine. Okay. And then I go back and try to say hi, spend some time with her, because I'm thinking everything's okay, but... she got into some more, like, the heroin and the meth and everything else. And then that's what got me into it too. It was like, I gave her a buddy a ride somewhere, and this guy gave me, here, thanks, man. I was like,
oh, damn, really?
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Like, he left the car, and then I told her, I was like, what's this? And then,
like a rig?
No, he gave me a piece of black heroin.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is this? I had never done it or seen it or anything. And I was like, what is this? And she started smoking right there. I was like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing? And then
you didn't know that she had gotten into that shit.
No, I didn't know anything. And I was like, what is that? Like, what are you doing? We were driving, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, and then pulled over, and then I was like, she said, just, I can't say if she said, just try it. I don't know. We were it's all in the moment type of thing. And
yeah.
I tried it and threw up. Like, what the hell? Like, and then it just had me in for a little bit. I was like, oh my God, like, what was that? And then I want to say, like, probably for like a week, like, I was trying it, like, with her, but I was smoking weed more at that time. And I say one day, like, dude, I got high and I was smoking weed with a brother, and that like counteracted everything.
Oh shit.
And I like seriously, like, I felt back, and I started like seeing like flashes of my life in front of me. Like, I would
for real, like a movie.
Yeah, just like a movie. I never experienced anything like that. Like, I freaked out. Like, I falling back every time I blinked. Whoa, and then I was just like, what was that? Like, I freaked out.
Man.
And like, I literally grabbed all my stuff. I told her, I'm sorry, thank you, I'm gone, and I left. I walked back to my mom's house. It was like a week later after I started doing it, and then I was like, what was that? What was I doing? I was like thinking about it the whole walk home, like, what's going on? And I ended up going back, but
yeah,
it was just like, it was a reality check. I don't know what it was, but I've seen everything that's happened in them flashes. I've seen everything that's happened. It's crazy.
And I mean, it's nuts to think. I mean, people talk a lot about how certain substances open up portals, you know, to like other dimensions. To me, I believe it's like demonic portals at times, you know. Mm-hmm. One thing too is don't ever feel like any type of shame or anything, like, oh, I went back. Like, that's very common. Most people, I mean, that addiction is a MF, bro. Like, it's really, really hard, you know. So people wonder, like, you know, how come this person is still doing this? Like, it's ruined everything and taken everything, because the addiction is stronger. Mm-hmm. The addiction is stronger than the pain and everything being taken from you.
Yep.
You know, and that's why I think it's so important for people to understand that, you know, so don't ever feel shame on that. But man, I mean, it almost seems like there was like a seed planted for the first time of like, you were ever felt open and vulnerable, like, yo, this shit is doing something bad to me. Like, I never experienced this before.
Exactly.
Did you ever find out what it was?
No, it was just, I just experienced it, and I was like, I just freaked out, and I just, like I said, I turned around and walked away, and.
Wow, man, that's scary. So, like, you know, speaking of the heroin use, man, I know before we started the episode, you had told me about a poem that you said you really wanted people to hear. What's up with this poem? Where'd you find this poem, and why do you want to share it?
I don't know where I came across it, but I came across it and I heard it, and then it's really crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
hey,
crazy.
You know, guys, you got to check this one out, man. So go ahead, brother, whenever you're ready.
It's called Miss Heroin. So now, little man, you've grown tired of grass, LSD, acid, cocaine, and hash. And someone pretended to be your true friend, said, I'll introduce you to Miss Heroin. Well, honey, before you start fooling with me, just let me inform you of how it will be. I will seduce you and make you my slave. I've sent men much stronger than you to their graves. You think you could never become a disgrace and end up addicted to poppy seed waste. So you'll start inhaling me one afternoon. You'll take me into your arms very soon. And once I have entered deep down into your veins, the craving will nearly drive you insane. You'll need lots of money, as you have been told, for darling, I have much more expensive than gold. You'll swindle your mother for just $1. You'll turn into something vile and corrupt. You'll mug, you'll steal for my narcotic charm and feel contentment when I'm in your arms. The day you realize the monster you've grown, you'll solely promise to leave me alone. If you think that you've got the mystical knack, then sweetie, just try getting me off your back. The vomit, the cramps, your gut tied in a knot, the jangling nerves screaming for just one more shot. The hot chills, the cold sweats, the withdrawal pains can only be saved by my little white grains. There's no other way, there's no need to look, for deep down inside you will know you are hooked. You'll desperately run to the pusher, and then you'll welcome me back into your arms once again. Crazy. And when you return, just as I foretold, I know that you'll give me your body and soul. You'll give up your morals, your conscience, your heart, and you'll be mine until death do us part.
Bro, I've never heard that before. That's nuts, dude.
Yeah, when I read it, it got to me, and I was like, oh my God, like.
Wow. Well, guys, I'm gonna have him send me a copy of that poem too. I'm gonna put that in the show notes of this episode. Whatever we got to do to anchor, man, for you guys to hold on to something. Yeah, that one is deep, bro. So it almost seems to me, you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost seems to me like you're kind of by yourself. Like you're searching for answers on your own. You're trying to, you know, to be the leader of your family. Like, yo, these people think they can help. Let's go out here. Boom, wrong situation. You come back, CRC, you know, you come back, you know, but it's important, like, for people to pay attention to that too. Like when you come into a treatment center, there is that pink cloud that people say, like, you know, you get that recovery bug. Everyone's doing good. But I think where a lot of people fail, and you know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when they leave, the fact that they're going back to those same environments with those same people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that was my thing. When I got admitted to CRC, to the upper level, to stage 2 or level 2, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to stay a lot longer and be cool before I got out. And then it was a few days and all right, you're good to go. And I was like, I didn't know what else to do. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I go back. And I went back to doing the same shit. So,
man. And how was the relationship like with your mom and stuff at this time? Like the family you did have, you know, your cousins too, you know, we ain't gotta name no names or whatever, but like, did they know that there was something going on with you? Were they actively using too, or, you know?
My mom, like, she knew what was going on. Like, she didn't want me around the kids because of what I was doing. It's understandable. She would come and check up on me, like message me or call me, and like she tried to keep me like hygiene wise good, you know, like she'll go pick up some of my clothes and she'll go wash them for me because I just had the same clothes, or I'd change, but it would be dirty clothes, you know. And she'll bring me some snacks and stuff, but it was really hard for my mom to see me like that. And even if she had the kids with her, and then hi dad, and it was real hard. Like,
yeah, I bet, man, because you're still processing the loss of your father, you know, and it sucks because it's like, we were just talking about this the other day. Michaela, shout out to Michaela. She said, you know, that some of the testimonies that she's been going through are talking about like the age that you're at or the stage in your life that you're at when you start using is the same stage of your life that you're at when you stop. And I just imagine, you know, a young man getting into himself finally for the first time. You're married, you're having kids, you know, you lose your father. This is huge feeling of loss, you know, but before you could even process it, the substances are coming in. So you kind of stay there. Yeah. Right. Losing the kids, losing your house, marriage, all of these horrible situations, everything's just stockpiling. It's almost like, how the fuck do I get out of this mess? You know what I mean? Yeah. And the substances are the main culprit of all of it. Yeah. Looking at the man that I'm talking to right now, bro, you got a fresh white tee on. Those shoes are dope. You know what I'm saying? You got some Jordans, some 23s on, you know. How did you get to this point in your life right now, dog? Because I know, you know, we talked a little bit, a couple family members, you know, that I know you were very, very close to, passed away, you know, and I know substances played roles in that too and things like that. How did you get to the man that I'm talking to right now, where you're doing good in your life, bro? Like, what was the change for you?
So after I got out of prison, I was good. I was clean. I was away from everything, everybody. And then I started calling her again.
Oh, okay. How long were you locked up for?
It was just about it was less than a year because I had back time from county. So they gave me.
Oh, okay.
So when I got out, it was good. And then I was getting lonely again. And then I called her and she's still doing the same thing. But I'm like, I was off parole. I kind of started dabbling into it again. And then, like, one day I was walking down by the bus station on Irvington. We're walking to go do some stupid shit to get some more money. Yeah. And I just literally just stopped in the middle of the road and I turned around and looked at her and I was like, I'm done with you. I'm not getting high no more. Like, I'm done.
It just came out of nowhere?
Yeah. I didn't want to go back to prison. That was my thought in my head. Like, we're going to go do some stupid shit. And if I get caught again, I'm going to go in jail. I'm going to go back to prison. I don't want to go back to prison. Like, it was just like, I'm done with this. I didn't want to get high. I was just stupid at the time. I just told her, I turned around, stopped right there. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm done with this. I'm done with you. If you want to get high, that's you. I'm not doing nothing no more. I'm not going to get high. I'm not going to go do some stupid shit to get high. She said, all right. She walked that way and I walked that way back to her grandma's house, her cousin's house. And I told him what I was planning. Like, hey, I'm done with this stuff. And he's like, cool. If you're serious, he's like, I'll help you. And all right, cool. And then I had to detox still cold turkey and I was sleeping and we're sleeping in the backyard in a little Honda Civic. Broke down, no windows in the car. We're just sleeping in the car, just in the front seat, just fucking detoxing. Yeah.
Oh man. Fuck, dude. That's rough. And there was a couple times that you guys were out there and you even accidentally got fentanyl a couple times.
Yeah, like I remember walking one time and meeting a random guy and asked him if he had any stuff and we got some stuff from him and we went and got high and my eyes were just like heavy and I'd never experienced some shit like that before. I was like, what is going on? Because like I want to walk, I want to keep going, and that was putting me out and I was like, oh my God, like what is this? And I had heard about the fentanyl going around, but I didn't think anything of it and didn't think I would come across it. But wow, you could really taste the difference in this to that. Yeah. It was horrible.
Man, well, you know, thank God that never got a grip on you, bro. No. You know, that's one of the, I mean, when I first started here in 2018, you know, I remember it was like a lot of alcohol, cocaine, and like, you know, meth use was like the biggest ones, heroin sprinkled in there, you know, but now over the years, you know, of being here, it's like flipped completely where it's like maybe 20% everything else and the rest of the 80 is all fentanyl. It's a really scary world out there right now, dude. Yeah. So I know that there was a couple cousins and we don't even have to name, you know, names, you know, that you were really, really close to, bro. And once again, I'm so sorry for your loss. it hit home to me because we all went to school together.
Yeah.
All of us did, you know, and I know how much I love my cousins, and I know how hard it is to experience loss. And how was that for you, brother? How were you able to cope from that, knowing it was, you know, an addiction that took them away?
Just felt like maybe I could have been there for him a little more. You know, I tried reaching out to him a couple of times, but didn't get no response. So I can't make him talk to me. And
Yeah.
but I just felt like if I maybe would have tried a little bit harder, probably could have.
And I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not trying to take or have any invalidation of your feelings, man. But, you know, just to give you some positive affirmations, man, you got to keep focus on the fact that we talked about it before you walked in here, bro. If someone's not ready, they're not ready.
Yeah.
You know, and and I think that's the horrible thing about loss is it leaves a lot of unanswered questions, right? It's a ripple effect.
It is.
And I'm sorry for that, you know, for your loss and stuff too. But I know your cousin, I'm sure he knew how much you cared about him and loved him. You know what I'm saying? I know that we did here. You know what I'm saying?
The last message I wrote him, I went out and bought his last CD that he had made.
Yeah.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
I found it at Bookman's, and I was like, cool. I try to show him, trying to like, yo, look. And
Yeah, a little bit of positive affirmations.
yeah, and I was like, look, you remember like, you were on stage when we did this, and you did this, but
I remember it's such good memories thinking about that. You know, as much as times have changed, it's incredible. But I remember that time, you know, when everyone was making music, and I just remember, you know, listening to all these different people that made music and stuff. Were you guys all together that whole time, like a little dream team? All you guys were just making it together?
it was mainly him.
Really?
I was just his little cousin on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Promotion, doing a promotion, and
and then like it was funny because when he had his concerts, he had his little like voice dubbed on the back end.
Yeah,
and then he's like, when that part comes on, like, you sing that part. I'm like, okay.
That's cool, bro.
So we're both on stage. He's like, come up here with me. And I'm like, all right, cool. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. It was pretty fun.
And those are the memories you got to hold on to, brother, and you got to cherish them. You know what I mean? And it really is. It's unfortunate, you know, how many people. I was just telling my wife this morning. I'm looking through my Facebook, and you know, I do a lot of the scheduling on there. And I mean, dude, it's literally, I can't even count on both hands and feet how many people that I can genuinely say became friends, had a genuine friendship with when they were here in the program, and have left and unfortunately passed away. You know, but on the contrary, the fact that I'm sitting here with you right now, man, and you're looking good and you're feeling good right now is what matters, is allowing people to know that it is possible to get clear off of all of this.
It is.
And what would you say, bro, like to anybody out there who may be struggling, you know, recent relapse or something like that, feeling like it's hopeless, feeling like they got no support, no family, no one who loves them or cares about them?
There's help. There's people here for you. Like, you just got to make the effort to go get it, and you gotta want it. Like, it's a struggle, but you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about like for some of your recovery things, man? Like, are you active? I know, you know, shout out to my shout out Michaela. I'm shooting out, giving a shout out who is he always talks about recovery is a fitted suit, right? So you get these rules, you go to these meetings, you do things like that, right? But then after a while, you get your own tailored suit, and you're able to kind of keep your recovery. What is part of your recovery plan? What keeps you sober today?
Just keep myself busy, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Family, I can have my kids, my family, everybody, and that's really what's keeping me going. I got all my family back, and
that's good, brother. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you talked about earlier, and you know, being lonely, and then that's part of it. You know, they say the devil roams, bro. What did they say? Something hands, the devil roams. So like when you're not doing work, when you're not handling business, and you're bored, that's when he's able to come into your life and start taking things from you. So how have the relationships, I mean, let's end it on a positive note, because I think that's a very special thing. I can just imagine those people that are listening out there that feel like it's hopeless, you know, feeling like they'll never be able to restore those relationships again. How have those relationships changed in your life now?
Well, like at first I was just worried about myself, just going to work, going home. I wasn't too worried about somebody else. I was like, I just need to stay. I got my kids back. That's all I need, really. And then if somebody came along, they came along, and then somebody came along. And
wow.
Yeah, it was weird how we met. Like, it was on Facebook, and we started talking, and then, like, I kind of moved out of the state for a little bit to try to better myself, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Moved back. When I moved back, she moved to Texas to try to better herself.
Yeah.
And she did. She came back, moved back, and then I was still kind of like, and then we kind of like, all right, cool. Like,
yeah,
we'll make this happen. So
that's good, man. And I feel like that's another part of life too, that on the other side of the storm, you know, which is very relevant, you know, right now for many different reasons, but on the other side of the storm, bro, if you can just keep put and keep focused on what your goals are, there's going to be better days on the other end of that. You probably never thought you would be in a healthy relationship.
I thought I was being in my little apartment, just by myself forever. And I was like cool with it because like I was going to work,
yeah,
coming home, I could see my kids, and that's all I was really worried about at the time. And I was like not worried about no female or anything. Like,
yeah, good for you though, dude. Like, you know how many people are distracted by that shit?
It'll get somebody caught up and distracted real quick. And
yeah,
but I mean, I let her know from the beginning, like, we can see if we're going to do this or we're not. We're going to work at it together. You know, she was recovering too. So
good, man.
I was like, we made it work, and we're here like, I don't know, say 4 or 5 years later now. So
that's awesome. Shout out to her, man. Shout out. And you say that you got a good relationship with your babies and stuff too?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, man. I mean, I really do feel like, you know, kids are so resilient, right? And I'm sure those moments when you look back to when they're like, hey, dad, I love you, dad, or whatever, that feeling of hurt that you had it's all worth it when you think about now the fact that you're able to actually live in the moment and soak up those moments and actually appreciate and remember them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just feel bad I missed out of all them years, you know what I mean? I'm like, man, but they see me now, and I try to tell them, like, you know, I'm sorry for my past, and I just don't want you to take that same trip. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see you doing good, and I'm trying to keep them all like on a positive note, keep them all doing busy, keep them all doing what they do. So
yeah, that's good, man. That's good. And ultimately, I feel like, you know, it is, the years go by so fast. They do go by so fast. But your story and resilience of showing that there is a beautiful ending that could be reached, you know, that sobriety is possible, and that you don't have to succumb being victim to all of the negative things that are happening in your life, man. I mean, you're teaching them a very, very, very valuable lesson that could benefit them when they're older. You never know what they're going to experience.
Yeah, I try to tell them, like, just learn from my mistakes. Like, don't make the same mistakes I did. Like, man, I was like, you see, it's rough. You see all the stuff that we've been through, and I lost you guys. Like, I don't want you guys to go the same footsteps that I did. Like, just do good, please.
That's cool, man. That's cool. And what's in the future for you, bro? What are you working on now? What are you doing?
I make rugs.
You make rugs?
I make rugs.
Oh, dope.
They keep me busy, and then I run around a little bit.
Custom rugs?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Mike, you guys are listening, bro. When we get the studio set up, he makes rugs. If I'm ever able to get my little man cave, bro, I may have you do some custom rugs for me. Give me the website and everything, too, if you have one, and I'll make sure to put it in the show notes. You know what I'm saying? Check them out?
Yeah. I make rugs.
Oh, dope, dude.
A couple of my rugs that made it to Spain.
Wow. Yeah, dude, please. That's cool. Each creation is hand tuft?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do it by hand. I have a little machine that I do it by hand.
That's really cool, man. Yeah, guys, for sure. I'm going to make sure I put this in the show notes of the episode. If you guys want some, you know, custom rugs or whatever, you know, there you go. Let's support local people out there doing their thing, man. That's beautiful, bro. That's really, really cool.
Thank you.
Well, you know, Rudy, bro, I really appreciate you coming through, bro, and sharing your testimony. And I hope for all the listeners out there that, you know, somebody was able to get something out of it. You know, but before we end this episode, man, straight up, I want to give my boy Rudy a round of applause. You know, he's doing fantastic stuff out there. And guys, don't forget, you know, it is possible. Keep your head up, man. Whatever you need to focus on, whether it's, you know, people from ARC, whether it's the podcast, whatever it may be, something that you can hold on to keep you and remind you, to keep you focused on your goals, man. Don't fall off of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Life is too short, and the world is getting worse and worse, and we have to be there as almost like a guiding light for those that are lost, man. So thank you guys again for always tuning in. All of the links are going to be in the show notes of this episode if you guys want to come on the show and share your testimony. You got positive affirmations from my boy Rudy. You guys can send those in too. But until next time, thank you so much. Much love. God bless. And we will see you on the next one. Peace. What's going on, everybody? This is Buddha from the Arcast, and I just wanted to thank you for checking out this week's episode. It means a lot, and if you could share it with a friend or a loved one, somebody you need in recovery, or maybe somebody who just needs that little bit of extra positivity in their life, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you would like to join us here on the Arcast, either in the studio live or online, hit us up. The links are down in the show notes of this episode, and on there, you can find direct links to our main website here at Americas Rehab Campus and all of our social media platforms. Follow us. We keep the posts positive and motivational, focused on recovery, health, and wellness. As you know, in this modern day and age, we need as much love as possible, y'all. And as always, if you or somebody you know is in need of substance abuse treatment, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We're open 24 hours a day, and our direct phone number is 1-833-272-7342. Once again, that phone number is 1-833-272-7342. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day. Much love and God bless. Peace.